Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. Really excited for today's video. So it's Thursday. On Thursdays, I try to do Thursday Thirsty Thoughts, where I come up with a topic that is hopefully engaging. I talk about my stuff, you talk about your stuff in the comment section, we get those conversations going. So being the end of the year, I figured maybe just like a kind of year in review video. After this, don't worry, I am still going to do my top beers of the year. That's just going to be a different video. What do I want from you guys? This is obviously going to be beer-centric. I'm not going to go over everything that happened this year, but just the beer-centric stuff. And I'm looking to hear some of your beer highlights. So I'm going to try to go in chronological order best I can, because I'm doing this from memory. I don't, you guys know I don't prep any of this stuff. So it's not like I have anything written down. But I have been thinking about it as I've been walking Bruno, some of the things that I definitely wanted to hit on. So towards the end of last year, you may recall, and it's appropriate that I'm drinking out of this glass, the brewery reached out to myself and the guys at FLX. They had seen a video, a review that we had done together, and through, it wasn't the brewery, they had hired a company. That company reached out to us like, hey, we'd like to send you some beers from the brewery, and then affiliate link, so like people who use your link, you can get a kickback, which is awesome, and like that's never happened before. So that was really rad. So then they announced that they are going to ship to almost every state, and they do include New York in that. So that was a pretty early one where I'm like, I'm going to commit to buying the membership and getting all those beers, and then if other beers are released throughout the year that I'm interested in, I'm going to order some of those as well. And the fact that they did a couple different affiliate links. The one I think was $50 if people sign up for the first time, and then it was 10% of people's purchases. So that was rad. And then if I ordered anything, I used those affiliate links myself and got the kickback. So that was really rad. And it's kind of funny because, and I don't remember the order of how this stuff will be released. This is actually the first beer from the brewery that I have not liked. And I was a fan before. It was one of the reasons that it was easy to make that decision for me to order the membership, because I'd had a decent amount of beers from the brewery and I knew I liked them. So except for this one I'm currently drinking, and in case it hasn't been released yet, I don't want to spoil anything. I've liked their beers always. So that was a no-brainer. Really cool experience. I've ordered 2 additional packages of beers. And I think actually I'll make a different video about if I think it's worth it or not to be in their membership program. But anyway, that'll be a different video. And it's been just a really cool thing this year to be able to dip into some nice brewery beers that used to be really hard for me to get. I have to trade or buy, at a huge markup. So that was super rad. Fast forward a little bit. May, I turned 40, which, is more bitter than sweet. And I had a really awesome time. Got to meet Ross in real life, which is rad. We've gone back and forth, many times, comment sections and elsewhere, but not in real life. So we got to hang out the day before my birthday, and then he came over when I had people at the house for my birthday. So got to hang out with him and Hannah quite a bit, which was awesome. The guys from Nerd Sense came out for it, which was also awesome. And some of my other friends who aren't in like the beer scene. We had a lot of really awesome beer. I put out all 4 Sam Adams Utopias years that I have. So we did like, like a flight of Utopias, which is gnarly, so that was awesome. And certainly a lot of fun to see everyone and have some cool beer-centric stuff. This summer, the earlier part of the summer, I had some free time. I'm a teacher, but I do a lot of house stuff over the summer. Then we started then we started doing our back porch, which is redone. I don't know if it's finished, basically. I have to caulk a couple things and little stuff, but it's done. I'm calling it done with a couple little things, little touch-up things. And, I complained about that in a few videos where I didn't have free time. I had to skip Beer Tuber Palooza this year, which, was not fun. I've gone to all of them. And that was a really hard decision, but I needed all the weekends I could get to work on this back porch. We end up saving, I'll put the number out there, we end up saving about $17,000 doing it ourselves. It was a no-brainer to do it ourselves. We could, and we would save that amount of money. But man, we had to sacrifice so much in terms of fun things, whether big or small, like doing stuff on the weekends. If the weather was good, we were working on that back porch. So it did, hurt some of the fun things I was able to do. Again, keeping this video beer-centric. And the Beer Tuber Palooza was obviously the biggest thing that I had to give up, which was awful. Back to the positive side, I live in Albany. Fiden's opened up their tap room. I got to go opening night, which was awesome to experience. I've been there many times since then. They are running it so well. The kitchen's on point, the bar's on point, the space is beautiful. People who go in to buy bottles and cans mostly, and then bottles for some of their stuff. It doesn't conflict with however other people are using the space. Just really awesome to have another great option of places to go in this area. So kudos to them always, and super excited for local places obviously to be doing well. So that was super rad. Speaking of local news, they announced that Treehouse is opening a location. It's not open yet, but that was announced this year. They're going to open a location pretty close to my house. So I was super excited about that, and I still am. But I'm friends with a co-owner of a brewery up that way. And then my second thought, after I was so excited, I'm like, wait, is that going to kill the business of all these other breweries up that way? So then I was nervous about it, and is it going to just draw in more beer drinkers, or is it going to take away business from again, there's several breweries up there, but only one that I know anyone who is part of it. So that was big news. I'm still mostly excited, but I'm only excited if the other breweries are able to sustain that, so that time will tell on that for sure. And then very recently, again, Beer Centric, speaking of the Nerd Sense guys, so I hadn't seen them since my birthday. I wasn't able to get out for BeerTuber Palooza. So I was able to get out there in person for the first time ever to their holiday special, and that was awesome because it was their 10th annual one. So it was 10 years they've been doing it. We had a fun way where we pretended that I couldn't figure out the internet stuff, and you couldn't see my face as if I was virtual, and then I emerged from behind the scenes I'm here in person. So that was a lot of fun. Gift giving, some really good beers. Then I woke up and hung out with Sean and his family for a bit before I met my friend Jim, who happened to be in Boston that day, and then we hung out at Treehouse, and then I drove home, and that was only a couple weeks ago at time of me filming this. So yeah, an interesting year in terms of beer, reviews, a lot of cool people I've met, and comment section, or then maybe it spills over into messages on Instagram or something. People have been super generous as always with some really tasty, awesome beers, and you guys see that I do get to drink some really awesome stuff. I'm very fortunate that way. So yeah, definitely, as I've said in other videos, I'm a social creature, still getting to know more people in person in this area since we've moved here. So this has just been really awesome in terms of me being able to have an outlet for some socialization, even though it is virtual. It's super rad for me. So I always appreciate that. And then yeah, some of the other highlights of the year. So that's what I got, guys. Year in review, Beer Centric. That's what I got. How about you guys? Comment section below. Let's get those conversations going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.